When was the last time someone expressed their opinion about your life, actions, or decisions, and how did you react to that? Most of us encounter the opinions of others almost daily. Friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers on the internet do not hesitate to share their views on your life. But how often do we allow these opinions to influence us? Is it really so easy to ignore what others think, as it sometimes seems? In this video, we will delve deeply into the topic of the influence of other people's opinions on our lives, and explore why we so often seek approval, and how to learn to be independent of others' judgments. Before we understand how to ignore others' opinions, let's figure out why they influence us so much. A person is, by nature, a social being. Throughout evolution, survival depended on acceptance in society. Thousands of years ago, being expelled from a tribe meant practically condemning oneself to death. After all, only together could people gather food, defend against predators, and build shelter. The fear of being rejected was akin to the fear of death. This evolutionary mechanism has remained with us to this day. Even now, when physical survival no longer depends on what others think of us, social connections play an important role in our lives. We want to be accepted, understood, and loved. But in the pursuit of others' approval, it is easy to forget about your own values and desires. How often have you given up on your plans, or even changed your beliefs, just out of fear of judgment or criticism? Psychologists assert that one of the key human needs is belonging to a group. It is important for us to feel that we are perceived and valued. This explains why we are so dependent on the opinions of others, even when they do not directly affect us. But is the opinion of others worth the efforts and sacrifices that we often make to earn approval? Take, for example, a situation where you want to start a new project or change your life. Changing professions, moving to another city, starting your own business. In such moments, the opinions of others become more important than ever. Your loved ones may fear change and project their fears onto you. Colleagues may be skeptical of your decision based on their own failures. And instead of relying on their own vision, many begin to doubt their abilities. We too often perceive the words of others as truth, forgetting that they are merely personal views of other people. A striking example of how others' opinions can destroy dreams is the story of Vincent van Gogh. Throughout his life, he received extremely negative feedback about his paintings. The artist was considered strange, and his style was deemed incomprehensible. As a result, Van Gogh was not only rejected by the artistic community, but he also began to doubt himself. Only after his death did the world recognize his talent. But imagine if he had stopped paying attention to critics in time and had truly believed in himself. At first glance, it may seem that ignoring other people's opinions is easy. It is enough to simply continue doing what you think is right, but this is a misconception. Others' opinions penetrate our consciousness, even when we are confident in our correctness. This happens not only at the level of conscious thoughts. Sometimes we do not notice how we change our decisions and behavior to meet the expectations of others. Once, the American writer and philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The expectation of approval is a form of slavery." We tie ourselves to the opinions of others, giving them power over our decisions. But is it really that easy to free ourselves from this influence? How often have you changed your plans out of fear of judgment? For example, you decide to change your career, but your parents are convinced that it is risky. Or do you want to go on a trip? But friends are convinced that it is a waste of time and money. Such opinions may be expressed with the best intentions, but they can become an anchor that holds you back from real change. Steve Jobs is one of the vivid examples of how one can ignore the opinions of others in pursuit of a goal. When he was creating the first Apple computer, many did not believe in its success. His ideas were considered strange, and his approach to work was excessively rigid, but Jobs continued to believe in his mission and moved forward despite the criticism and doubts. Today, Apple is one of the most successful companies in the world, and Jobs has become a symbol of innovation and entrepreneurial spirit. But what made Steve Jobs so unyielding? He understood that not all opinions are important. He knew that success comes to those who remain true to their beliefs. Despite the noise around him, Jobs was able to filter information, distinguishing constructive criticism from useless feedback. Today's reality makes ignoring others' opinions even more challenging. In the age of social networks, where every thought, action, or decision can become the subject of discussion among thousands of people, it becomes difficult to remain indifferent to their opinions. Likes, comments, dislikes, this all exerts immense pressure on the modern individual, forcing them to seek external validation of their own significance. Research shows that people who spend too much time on social media often begin to depend on the opinions of strangers online. As a result, their self-esteem decreases, and their level of anxiety increases. Comments from others, even if not far from the truth, can provoke strong emotional reactions. Social networks create the illusion that those around us are successful and happy. And if your life does not meet these standards, you are doing something wrong. But it is worth remembering that people only show the best moments of their lives, creating an idealized picture of reality. Ignoring others' opinions is analogous. which can be developed. It requires awareness, inner strength, and the ability to filter information. Here are some practical tips that will help you not depend on others' evaluations and live your own life. Clearly define your goals and values. When you know what you want from life and what values are important to you, the opinions of others lose their power. People can say whatever they want, but it won't concern you because you have a clear understanding of where you are headed. Think about what goals are truly important to you. How do you want to live your life? Who are you? When you have answers to these questions, criticism or the opinions of others cease to be so significant. Work on your self-confidence. Often we depend on others' opinions from a lack of self-confidence. We do not trust our own decisions and seek approval. Developing self-confidence is a process that requires time and effort. Start small and celebrate your achievements, even if they seem insignificant. Keep a success journal to see your growth and understand that you are capable of much. Filter opinions and feedback. Not all opinions are equally valuable. Learn to distinguish when it is worth listening to criticism and when to simply ignore it. If a person expresses their opinion based on their own negative experiences or fears, it may not be relevant to your situation. However, constructive feedback can be beneficial for your growth. For example, if your colleague points out the shortcomings in your work with the aim of helping you improve, it is worth listening to their opinion. However, if someone criticizes you out of envy or a desire to belittle, such comments do not deserve your attention. Mindfulness. As a tool for ignoring, mindfulness helps you not to immerse yourself in negative emotions and not to react to them automatically. When you encounter criticism or an opinion that affects you, try not to react immediately. Take a pause, acknowledge your feelings, and consider whether this opinion is truly important to you. Mindfulness practice helps maintain inner balance and prevents external factors from controlling your emotions. It allows you to choose what to pay attention to and what to leave unreacted. Surround yourself with positive people. Your environment plays a huge role in how you perceive yourself and your life. If you are constantly surrounded by people who criticize you, undermine your confidence, or feed you negativity, it will be difficult for you to grow. Try to surround yourself with people who support you, inspire you, and believe in you. Of course, there are cases when someone else's opinion is truly important. For example, when it comes to professional activities, the opinion of a mentor or an experienced colleague can help you avoid mistakes and improve your results. It is important to be able to distinguish constructive criticism from mere criticism for the sake of criticism. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was not accepted into his school basketball team, as he was considered not talented enough. This could have been a serious blow for him, and he might have given up if he had listened to the coach's opinion. However, Jordan perceived this as a challenge. He began to train even harder and soon proved to everyone that he was born to win. Ignoring others' opinions is not easy, but it is a skill that can be developed. What do you think about this? Have you encountered situations where others' opinions pressured you? How did you deal with it? Share your stories in the comments. In conclusion, it is important to remember that your life is your responsibility. Ignoring the opinions of others is difficult, but possible when you know who you are and what you want to achieve. Your opinion is the most important. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments and point out the moments that touched or inspired you.